Okay. Okay, so we're back on. Okay, we got cut off there. I had to clean up something on my computer. Okay, so I have Charlene back on here, and she's gonna tell more of her story. Okay, so yeah, so you were talking about the Social Security sends the police over to check on you.
Okay, so what they do is, what Social Security does, when you first file for disability, and I learned this from, it's not coming from me, it's coming from a disability, a Social Security disability attorney.
Okay.
And people get disability. Now, he is online, and I've sent you the link to his channel.
Yeah.
And so he's explained that even if you live on a dead end road, you will see one of these unmarked cars come down the road, and they will be checking to see if your lights are on or off, or if you've gone to bed, or and then they will follow you to your appointment the next day, see if you're skipping, or if you're happy. Or if
this is the link you sent me was a Social Security bank account surveillance.
They also surveil your bank account. Now, let me tell you, when I went into the bank one day to get some cash, I wrote a check for cash, and I think it was like $20. And I went to Hardee's to get me and my children.
And I'm just showing the other one. Social Security police tactics to hunt the disabled.
Yes.
Police tactics to hunt the and I'm a disabled veteran.
Right.
We're already disabled, and you're abusing your authority, harassing us. Yeah, I mean, right. I just have lost so much respect for the police. I mean, I just haven't seen them do anything good to help people in literally years. Like, I mean, I have no idea what they even do anymore. Like, all they do is write tickets and harass people. Okay, go ahead.
So when I went in the bank, and I wrote my check for cash, and it was some other little things that I wanted to get, but I didn't want to spend any more than $20, so I got $20 cash. And so the girl in the bank took a purple stamper, and she stamped the money, tracked this money. And I asked for $20, was of course she gave me tens and fives, and so she stamped each one, tracked this money. So I go to the drive-through, and I get a chicken, and I hand the girl the money, and I asked her, well, I was in the bank. The girl in the bank stamped each bill, tracked this money. And I said, do you know what it means? She said, are you on drugs? I said, no. I said, I've never done illegal drugs in my life. Mm-hmm. She said, honey, I don't know, but I'm going to go get your chicken. So she went and got my chicken, and she looked all around the parking lot. She looked all around, and then next thing you know, there were the cops in the parking lot.
Why were they there? Tracking you? They were there tracking you?
Tracking the money. They were tracking the cash.
Tracking the cash that you were getting from Social Security?
Yeah.
What? Like you and like millions of other people are on Social Security. Why does it matter?
Right. Because I got cash. I only got $20. And so I took my children to Hardee's for chicken. And then other little things like... I didn't want to spend any more than $20 that day. We were having a little outing, and
why? What is the big deal about getting cash from Social Security?
I have no idea. But each bill that she gave me, she stamped it, tracked this money. So when I went to the drive-up window to get our chicken, I asked the girl, I said, do you know what this means? And she asked me, are you on drugs? I said, no, I've never done illegal drugs in my life.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So they're tracking where you're spending your Social Security money. Then the police, they got a police tactic for this.
Right.
I mean, this is such abuse of power, and they've abused me. I mean, I literally have 80 videos of them illegally surveilling me. All in, and it's not just this state. It's in all states I've lived since I've been on this targeted individual program. I mean, they're massively abusing their power. They're massively abusing these surveillance techniques, and they have to cut these surveillance equipment from them because they're abusing it.
Not only that, it was no reason for the girl in the bank to stamp my money, track this money, because I hardly ever got cash out. But when I did, it was always marked, track this money. Now, then I took my children to Rose's, and I got my son a little pair of shoes, and I got my daughter a shirt, and I said, well, that's it for this weekend. And, you know, we've had our little outing, we've had our fun, we've eaten our chicken, and we're going home. And so I go home, and then the cops are going past the house, and they're riding by. My daughter goes out and gets in the swimming pool, and they're looking at her. Now, my daughter was a preteen, and she was developing. And, you know, I felt like they're just pedophiles looking at my child.
They were like stalking your daughter. Yeah. I mean, it's making you feel uncomfortable. I've tried being nice to them when they pull me over. I've tried, like, nothing works. They're just like, they seem like they're just following orders like robots to track us or whatever. And they're not reasonable. You can't reason with them. And it's just, I mean, I've never been purposely rude to them or impolite. They just won't stop. They won't stop abusing their power. They like to use the power to abuse people, especially women.
Right.
Yeah, it's the type of personality where they seem to enjoy it, and they have to be stopped. Because you're just a disabled person. I'm disabled, and we already have PTSD, and you are causing more harassment and more trauma to somebody who's already disabled. What part of that is not okay? Don't you understand?
Well, I'm going to tell you what. I was coming down the road, and so my daughter was probably 9 or 10 years old. And so this has gone on with me my whole life. But now this affected my children.
It's so you've been targeted like this your whole life.
Yes.
Yeah, mine has been it's mostly been the since I became a whistleblower, but I think to a certain extent because of my bloodline I've been I've been targeted. Yes.
And see, I whistle blew. I was already.
And I've talked about this, and it's a certain bloodline they're targeting. It's religious persecution. It's crimes against humanity. It's 100% illegal. They have to start being held accountable for what they have done to so many people. And I have another friend, Missy. Every time she goes to the grocery store, she gets stalked by the police. That's in Virginia. So I'm going to show this video here she sent me.
I'm in Virginia. Yeah.
Oh, and you're in Virginia too. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know if I can show it on that. Okay. But okay, I can't show it while I'm on the phone. But yeah, she gets there's another targeted person in Virginia that gets stalked all the time, and she sends me photos. Okay. Oh yeah, she has the ambulance drive by and things like that, like I do. She has ambulance driving by, and police just going to the grocery store or whatever. It's a targeting program, and it's 100% illegal. Okay, go ahead.
Like I was saying, we were coming back from Richmond, and my daughter was riding in the back seat. And I had a friend with me in the front seat. We were tired, and we were just ready to come back home. And so it was a 100-mile drive back from Richmond, and it was getting late. So I'm driving, and this car gets right on my bumper. And this is before we get into town. So he rides my bumper. Well, I keep going the speed limit. I didn't speed up and I didn't slow down. My daughter's in the back seat crying. She said, that car's going to hit us. That car's going to hit us, Mommy. The car's going to hit us, Mommy. And I said, it's okay, darling. Sit down and hook your safety belt. Everything's going to be okay. So I kept driving. All of a sudden, as soon as I come into town limits, this cop turns the lights on. He turns his lights on, and I pull over. Okay? He gets out, and he says, he comes to my window, and he says, have you been drinking?
Mm-hmm.
I said, no, I'm not a drunk. And he said, well, I saw you swerving. And I said, well, my back has been hurting. And I said, I have a arch support behind my back, and I am tired. I've driven from Richmond.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, oh, okay. Well, I'll let you go then. Drive careful. Okay, so my car was green then. I have a Trans Am, and my car was green then. And my friend, my best friend, her name was Cherie. Her car was the same color as mine, and our cars were almost alike.
Mm-hmm.
And her name was Cherie Renette. My name is Charlene Renee. Our names were very close. Our cars were very close. And one night she was coming down the same road, and they claim that she fell asleep and went over a guardrail and down into an embankment where my friend, she died. But they didn't find her. They didn't find her for 3 days. Well, I went to her funeral, and when I came back, my phone rang. And this was years ago, so my phone was a landline. My phone was hanging on the wall. I walk over and I pick it up and I say, hello. And this man's voice said, I saw you at your friend's funeral today. I said, you did? Who is this? And he said, it wasn't meant to be her. It was meant to be you.
Oh my God, a threatening message.
Yeah, so that just upset me so bad to think, and she was coming back from a wedding. She had been at a wedding, and she had gone to the reception, and anyway, she was coming back, and it was late.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe it was that same cop. Now, he was trying to push me down the road. He got on my bumper, and it scared my daughter to death. And
yeah, they've killed people in chases.
Right.
And everybody's gotten to the point where they're so afraid of the police that a lot of people do try to chase or try to run or whatever, and there's people that have been killed that way. And I remember President Trump passed some kind of law where they're no longer able to chase people in his first presidency, because I had them illegally chase me in Texas, and I was just checking my mail. All I did was check my mail. I was checking my mail at this trailer park, and then this dumb maintenance guy who would he was so dangerous, and he moved in there, and he said I was trespassing. I moved out on my own will, and